was a child, we played a game called Gossip. One person whispered something into the ear of the person sitting next to them. That person whispered it to the person on their right, and so on. And the last person to hear the phrase would share what they heard, and it rarely resembled the original phrase. Sometimes we use this same method in our faith. We listen to one teaching or another. We tuck in facts and stories and sermons, and then we build a belief system out of it. However, as we view the relationship between the disciples and Jesus, it's one-to-one. He sat with them and taught them. He corrected them. He cheered them on, and it was daily. It was interactive. It wasn't third party, like the religious system had been for generations. They had total access to the Son of God, just like we do. Why do we stay at a distance when the invitation is to come near? Perhaps it's because faith is so familiar. It's the trappings of faith that we associate with Jesus when he offers so much more. Faith begs us to climb out of the familiar. As the disciples came to know Jesus, they didn't always understand everything that Jesus was teaching, but they knew where to go. When they had questions, they found Jesus. They asked him and they talked. They didn't know always how to process their feelings, but they knew that he understood. If we dig down deep and we can only pull up what others have told us, it's not enough. Relational faith is lived. It's experienced. It's honed through walking hard paths together and celebrating in the sweet moments where we feel him. I wasn't raised in church, and there have been many times that I have wished that I was raised in church. When I was younger, it seemed like an incredible gift to live in a house where a family loved the Lord together and worshiped together. And it is. It's an absolutely beautiful gift. Yet I learned that faith is not about whether my family believed or not. It's not about whether I grew up in church. It's not about traditions. It's not about rituals. It's one-to-one. So this is our come with me invitation. Let's encounter Jesus, not just once, but over and over again as we walk with him daily. As I studied and wrote this book, I came to adore John, the disciple. He called himself Jesus' beloved, and we never hear Jesus saying that, but it's what John believed. As time passed, we see this relationship strengthen. Jesus loved John from the beginning, but their relationship was formed as they did life together. Later on in his years, John wrote this, "See what great love the Father has lavished on us, that we should be called children of God." That's 1 John 3, verse 1. John penned those words. Most theologians believe that this was written decades after the death of Jesus. John was an old man, but he had discovered something so personal in that one-to-one relationship with Jesus that it carried him through the loss of a brother, through witnessing friends as they were martyred for their faith. And it carried him through personal persecution and isolation. He dug down deep and came up with assurance. He was greatly loved by the Father. I want you to do something with me for a moment. Close your eyes. Whisper these words. I am Jesus, beloved disciple. Faith is a daily encounter. It's rich. We open the Bible for ourselves to determine why we believe, and then we can share with others that same truth. We are utterly loved, which allows us to love others utterly. Faith was never meant to be a third-party, distant religion, but a vibrant relationship that changes us and allows us to call ourselves a beloved disciple.